It is time for the State of Origin Game 2 preview and predictions, and just like in previous years, New South Wales have blown Game 1, which seems to have been a must-win game. So now we have to do it the hard way, and whether or not they can win Game 3, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they can force a decider, and that's what we're about to talk about right now. So let's break it all down, let's give our predictions, and let's hope that this actually makes sense and that this can actually be used, because unfortunately the Game 1 video went to the bin as soon as Suaalii decided to put hits on Reece Walsh, which, to be fair, has essentially made this a two-match series. And whether or not you think it was a send-off or not, we can quit debating that, because even the NRL have come out and said that it wasn't a send-off through some of the actions that they have made over the past few weeks. The drama of this series has been on another level, from Madge calling out the hypocrite, all the talk about Latrell. We're going to be talking about him in just a moment. But this, of course, is must-win for New South Wales, and it's so important just not to win this game, but long-term as a state. Not too long ago, we had the biggest winning margin in Origin history after just 2 games back in 2021. We had this young, hot side led by those Penrith Panthers boys, and it looked like we were going to go on a run of our own. And didn't that Game 3 back in 2021 tell us something that we're going to see from the future? Because since that point, we've won just the 2 Origin games, and one of those was a dead rubber last year. So since 2021, since we wrapped up the series at Suncorp with record wins in both Game 1 and Game 2, we've won just the 1 live Origin game. And there are plenty of excuses we can have, but there are no excuses in State of Origin football, and especially in 2022, that was a series that we should have won. But look, 2024 has essentially become a 2-match series for both teams, really. We didn't really get to see any of New South Wales in Game 1, so it's basically like a reboot. We are seeing Michael Maguire's debut as a coach. We're seeing Jake Trbojevic first stint as a captain. There are some positives to take out of Game 1. Hopefully those positives, like being just down 20-10 and controlling field position in the game for about 40 minutes with just 12 against 13, was a good insight of what we could be seeing going forward. But it's hard to take anything out of that game for New South Wales, whereas Queensland, they didn't even get to use, which in my opinion was probably their most important player. So we are basically starting again. The drama has been on a different level, but on the field, well, we've seen about 7 minutes of it. So let's talk about it. Obviously, it's must win for New South Wales. All the talk has been about Madge and Billy, and if it wasn't, it'd be about Latrell, because that's all anyone talks about really from full time of Origin 1 up until now. But in my opinion, the most important matchup of this game is similar to Game 1, and it's similar to basically every game of rugby league you have ever watched in your entire life. That is, of course, the battle of the halfbacks. Mitchell Moses comes in to take on DCE, who is somehow, despite dominating this period of the year every single year for the better part of the last 5 to 6 years, this has been the best version of him. Coming off one of his better Origin games with a man of the match performance in Game 1, he goes up against Mitchell Moses, and on paper, Mitchell Moses may get run circles around. Unfortunately, Mitchell has spent most of the year injured. His team's currently in last place. His coach has been sacked, and really he failed to close out a game against Toby Sexton. And I don't mean to slag off on him, because I do think he had to come in. I love Nicho, and Nicho Hynes is only in his 3rd year as a full-time NRL starter. He was coming off the bench for the Melbourne Storm, let alone him being a halfback, let alone him trying to be a halfback for New South Wales in the State of Origin. And look, poor Nicho, talk about drawing the short straw. Man played 10 minutes at centre, and then Man played his first starting role in Origin with 12 men for the majority of the game. But unfortunately for Nicho, I just don't think he's had the time to adapt to what Origin football is. And why Mitchell Moses had to come in is pretty simple. As a career-long halfback compared to Nicho, the one thing that Nicho Hynes hasn't adapted yet is the long game. Is how to play a game for 80 minutes, how to prioritise last tackle and have a good kicking game, which is exactly what Mitchell Moses brings. Now, unfortunately for Moses, he's going to have to try and do that up against one of the best halfbacks Queensland have ever had. But there's not much defensively between him and Nicho, and while Nicho probably has a bit more attacking upside, I think Mitchell Moses had to come in for for that long kicking game, for that last tackle options, and to play the long game, because Mitchell Moses has got one of the biggest boots in the NRL. Now, especially in big games, I don't think he's ever gotten the better of a DCE or a Nathan Cleary, but without Cleary, he's our best option. Dare I say he's probably the only option, especially considering Reynolds is also out injured. I think it's pretty much just a straight swap for Nico. I think Mitchell Moses will conduct and really set the middle of the field, while I think Edwards will probably play down the right. He's got Luai on the left, which is going to be the strike side for New South Wales. So it's up to Mitchell Moses to take advantage of the opportunities, especially if our forwards can get forward. And it's a pretty similar to pack to the game one side, although I would say now that I'm even more confident in this forward pack. Now, while Michael Maguire decided to look at his captain and to sit him on the bench, Kurt Gidley style, I do think that with Queensland still missing Tino and Tommy Flegler for the entire series, I do think the edge still belongs to New South Wales. Now, in saying that, Carrigan was absolutely phenomenal. He's probably the best middle forward out of both of these lineups. He has to be on his best again. So does Cotter and so does Collins, because Kurt Capewell, another back rower, isn't going to provide much through the middle of the field. So all those boys are capable of playing big minutes, but they're going to have to be great big minutes, because now not only does Cameron Murray come back in, but hopefully the forward pack doesn't have to play a man down. So, can New South Wales match them? That is what's going to be so important, because I think New South Wales will more than likely have to win the forward pack battle. Like I said for Queensland, they just need one quick play the ball, and then with all those plays, with all that strike power, it could be curtains. Well, I think for New South Wales, it's going to take a bit of time. It's going to take time for Moses and Luai to gel. So I think our forwards have to be going forward for the majority of the game, and they did that for the better part with 12 men in game one, so I'm quietly confident of that. But like I just said, New South Wales, that left edge is going to be the main focal point of attack. Not only is that going to be the side where our more attacking dominant half is, because Jerome Luai might just be the form half of the competition at the moment, but that's where Angus Crichton is, that's where Brian To'o is, and that is, of course, where Latrell Mitchell is. Now, everyone will all speak about Latrell. I've said my piece on Latrell, and he really can go one of two ways. He can decide this match for New South Wales, and hopefully not, but he's very capable of losing it for New South Wales. Through no fault on his own, I don't think he's going to fly out of the line and kill someone, but that being said, I didn't think Suaalii would, and here we are. I just mean from Queensland's attacking standpoint. Like I said in game one so much, without Cameron Munster, Queensland are going to be centralising their attack around Reece Walsh, just like they did with the bloody hammer when Reece Walsh got killed. You can bet on Tommy Didden, and of course you can bet on DCE to put Reece Walsh in the good positions, and they're going to be attacking New South Wales edges. And while I do trust Moses and Luai, probably trusting Moses a bit more than Hines has just through experience, I know that Stephen Crichton will contain him as best as he can. I mean, Walsh barely got around him during that grand final and said he tormented Nathan Cleary's edge. I do get worried with Latrell Mitchell. Now, I don't think they're going to switch Hammer to put him on Latrell, but if they do, then that could be such an attacking weapon and such an attacking threat for Queensland. It just depends how Queensland is going to play against Latrell Mitchell, but when it comes to an attack, he fixes nearly all the problems we've had for the better part of the few years without Latrell and Tom Trbojevic. When it comes to just the sheer amount of X factor in the sides, while we've had Cleary in the past, it was certainly exposed in game one this year. Now again, it's hard to look at it because we only had 12 men, but there was a severe lack of X factor. There's no one in New South Wales teams that if we can give the ball to one-on-one or even two-on-one, they can create something out of nothing. Latrell Mitchell, for anything, is going to bring presence. And if you can get over the top of Val Holmes early, it's going to set a statement. That is going to draw more defenders in to take out Latrell, or it means they're going to leave Latrell one-on-one when he's absolutely frothing against Val Holmes, who will be under so much pressure. So I think Luai will just be doing what he did back in 2021, giving Latrell Mitchell early ball. I would love to see when Luai comes back through the middle that Latrell follows him, because I think that could cause some deadly problems through Queensland's middle. But at the very worst, if he brings in Latrell back through the middle, he's going to get a quick play the ball, and that might just set up Zach Lomax down the right-hand side, because that is where we need to go. It worked in game one. I don't know why we didn't utilize it more, but I think Mitchell Moses can get the ball to Zach Lomax, especially in the air, which gives us some presence on both sides. I can't wait to see how Dylan Edwards goes. I think it'll be very much Luai on the left, Mitchell Moses in the middle, controlling everything. Dylan Edwards on the right, and Mitchell Moses will play as that link man. I don't want Isaiah Yeo getting in the way. That is why I love Cameron Murray at lock. Unfortunately, while it pains me to say, Queensland are never going to beat themselves, while New South Wales tend to, like we saw in Game 1. I do think that New South Wales will have to be heaps better than Queensland to even have a sniff. And what I mean by that is Queensland are just going to need one quick play the ball, and then DC is going to put Walsh or Didden in the right space, and then they're going to have the hammer, or they're going to have one of these freak outside backs who are running through there. They've got the speed advantage, they've got the X-Factor advantage, they've even got the best player on the field being DCE advantage. But New South Wales, if Mitchell Moses can just go kick for kick and try and maybe outplay DCE, it is definitely not impossible. If Latrell Mitchell can get the better of Valentine Holmes, then maybe they actually have a chance. So I think they're going to be more desperate. They have a great record at the MCG, and I am hanging on to hope. So my official prediction, I'm going to go New South Wales to win. I'm going to go for a scoreline 20 points to 16. I think it'll be about 4 tries to 3, and I think given the pressure and given the MCG, I think goal kicking may come at a bit of a luxury. So I'm going to go there. That is my official prediction. New South Wales 4 tries to 3. Man of the match, I'm going to go Brian To'o. I've spoken a lot about Latrell. I've spoken a lot about Mitchell Moses, but I think if Brian To'o can do his job, take those extra runs for Latrell, when they're in attacking ball, Latrell will have that presence. Maybe it draws attention away from To'o, who's been killing it against Newcastle and against Manly. Then hopefully he has a special sort of game, because he deserves it. He has been New South Wales' best over a number of years now, and hopefully we can force a decider. Whether we win in Brisbane or not, maybe that is just a foregone conclusion. But ladies and gentlemen, there is my predictions for Game 2 State of Origin Wednesday night. I'm taking the Blues 20 points to 16. Brian To'o is my man of the match. But ladies and gentlemen, use that comment section. Let me know your official predictions for State of Origin Game 2. Subscribe if you haven't yet already. Smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next one.